Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, our producer, Anthony Landahl, sat down with the president of Bradley's American Sign Language Club to find out the challenges of communicating and learning sign language over Zoom.
Joining us today is Kaitlin Berger, president of the American Sign Language Club here at Bradley, a music and entertainment junior. Kaitlin, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me.
So the one thing I wanted to talk to you about today was dealing with virtual meetings with your club. Specifically, it's a club where individuals have to communicate through hand signals. And what's the challenges with that over Zoom?
Yeah, so it's definitely different. Some of the signs that we do at our meeting, it takes up the whole body, the whole torso. So the sign for welcome in sign language is kind of like a side C on your torso. And definitely that's some challenge. There's also a delay in our meetings. Like if I'm signing hello, you can see there's a little bit of a delay in the video sending over. But meeting virtually is definitely, it has its perks and as well as its negative sides to it, because we can do breakout rooms, so have smaller, versus when we were in person, we usually did full-size group meetings and we wouldn't break off into the smaller groups.
And I'm guessing in the case of, like you just did, I saw your hand kind of wave and it was pretty fuzzy. Do you ever get confused when someone tries to make a sign and then you interpret it in a different way?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of signs that are very similar too, that are very closely related. The sign for blue is you wave a B versus like breakfast, and so in brown everything. So knowing emotion and having it slow enough, interpreting that on camera, helping other people is definitely hard. We had a Girl Scout event where we taught Girl Scouts, and that was virtual when usually it's in person. And that was really difficult because usually younger kids, you have to help them with their hands. They don't always know how to move their fingers in the proper way. And so trying to see where they could improve was definitely a challenge.
Now, I know you have regular meetings here at Bradley in addition to those events. If a student was interested in joining or wanted to come in on a meeting, what would that meeting look like? How do you kind of introduce someone new to the organization?
Yeah, so this week we are going to learn kitchen vocabulary words and do kind of conversation, asking questions about what are you cooking or when are you going to go eat. The next week we have food vocabulary, which is all kinds of food from hamburger to fruit and vegetables. So that's really fun, definitely useful when you're in the kitchen or just when you want to go out to eat with friends.
Then the last question I have for you today is, dealing with COVID-19 and the pandemic and communicating health messages and warnings and new ordinances to people who maybe struggle with talking or hearing. How have you seen that affect that community and what's going on from that perspective? Do you know?
Yeah, it's definitely different. During the COVID, when it was major over the summer, there was definitely interpreters who were becoming more known and bringing that about. But at the presidential debate, there wasn't an interpreter. And so there's kind of some talk about why wasn't there. There should be. And the FCC, I believe, does not require TV stations to have that required. And so, but I mean, the iPhone FaceTime now has this new update where if somebody's signing on FaceTime, it'll zoom into your face.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you for coming on today, Kaitlin.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, great. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you for that, Anthony. Great insight from Kaitlin as well.